Hi, Freckle group. All right, so we're going to read chapter 2 today. And before we start reading chapter 2, there's some vocabulary words that you need to know. The first vocabulary word is allowance. What is an allowance? Usually this pertains to money. After so much time, and if you do certain things, you get an allowance. For example, when I was a little girl, I would have to make sure that the trash was taken out, my bedroom was clean, I'd have to do the dishes, and every week my parents would give me an allowance of money. So allowance just means money. The second vocabulary word is a combination. And in this chapter, what a combination is usually a set of numbers or letters. It's kind of like a password. There's 3 sets, and this is an example of a combination. These are 3 numbers, 8, 4, and 10. If this was a combination to a locker or a safe, you would have to know 8, 4, and 10, and you need to put these numbers in order to open the safe or a lock. Just know a combination is another word for kind of like a password. The third vocabulary term is a safe bank. And this is just like a piggy bank, sort of, except it's a little safe that someone can have in their room. When I was a little girl, I had one of these. However, mine was just numbers. It didn't have this fingerprint code. But then you would put the combination in 8, 4, 10, and then you would press unlock and it would open. The next vocabulary word is curlers. What are curlers? Sometimes you can see your mom, your grandma, or your sister. They'll put curlers in their hair, and what this is it looks like this, and when it does, it just curls their hair. So if I were to put curlers in my hair wouldn't be straight, it would be curly. The next word is padded, and this is when you are taking your hand and you're just kind of like patting something. Okay. For example, here's a mom who patted her daughter's back. A lot of times moms, if they have babies, they will pat their back after they feed them so that they can burp and help digest the food. So that's what it means to when something is patted. You just go, okay. The next vocabulary word is pretended. So the word pretend means that you are acting a certain way that's not real. For example, this little boy is pretending to be some sort of superhero. Is he a real superhero? No, but sometimes it's really fun to pretend. So he is pretending to be a superhero. The next vocabulary word is arithmetic. And what this is this is another word for math. And but yeah, just remember that it has to do with numbers, adding, subtracting, measuring, geometry, all of that is arithmetic. And the next word is aimed. When you aim for something, you are trying to get a target. For example, if in this picture you see there is a dart that was aiming for this spot in the middle, and it is aimed at that, and whoever shot this dart made it to the middle, so they aimed correctly. So yeah, that's what that means. When you are aiming for something, you're looking at something and you're trying to hit it with another object or yourself. The next word is aisle. In this story, they talk about the aisle in the classroom, and what that means is traditionally in schools, there were a lot of desks and chairs. Even when you get to high school, you will see desks set up like this. An aisle is basically those rows that you can walk through. So here's an aisle here, here's an aisle here, here's an aisle here, and here's an aisle here that the teacher or the students can walk through. That is what an aisle is. The next vocabulary word is balanced. When something is balanced, it means it weighs the same on both sides. If you look at this picture, you will see that these 3 rocks here are the same weight as these 3 rocks. I know that it's balanced because the wood is straight across. Now, if these rocks weighed more, the board would not be straight. It would, in fact, this board would be leaning towards this way, so it would be like at a diagonal. So when things are balanced, that just means that they are the same weight all around. The last vocabulary word is marched. Andrew, our character, marched to the teacher. And what that means is you're kind of walking with a purpose. You're not just like walking slowly. You're in a rush. You're like, I need to get from here to here. So he marched to the teacher. There's a little bit more pep in your step when you are marching. But yeah, these are the 11 vocabulary words that you need to know before you read chapter 2. If you have any questions, be sure to keep it in your mind because we are meeting at 10 o'clock to talk about this chapter. All right, have fun. Bye.